All right.
Hi.
So, welcome to Let's Have a Fefe Season 6, Episode 2. This evening, we are going to be cooking with Mia Adams, who is not currently here at the moment.
Disclaimer. So, a lot was going on over the weekend, and maybe the producer slash director slash co-host slash me did not even go to take Mia to the store. So Mia's at the store right now, getting the gig together, and so that would be my fault. And the next time we do this, we know better. We know we know a lot.
Right, and if you know if work wasn't so fucking stupid, I could have left work and gone to get her and gone to the store.
Yes, but you live closer to her.
Though. Right. But again, I didn't stop working until, yeah. So there's that. It's, but it's okay. It's all right. We're still gonna keep on trucking. And
well, even before we get things started, we want to say thank you to Gay King Photography and Marissa Sanchez for being our sponsors this season, and you too could be a sponsor of Let's Have a Fefe by going to our Patreon. And if you're a part of our group, I have posted that, and after the episode you'll see it maybe a couple hours because I have to go home and but it'll be in the notes section. Hi Victoria.
Hi Victoria. Ryan. Hey Ryan. Hey Eddie. Oh look, Ryan's trying to use a hotspot. Is it a Sprint hotspot though? Because that's still. Oh. Who uses Sprint anymore? Like that's like
Sprint has become like the Boost Mobile. Actually,
I don't know. I think Boost Mobile is still better than Sprint, but no tea, no shade.
I think Sprint is one of those carriers.
So it used to be a good carrier. Now it's shit. So I would recommend.
My parents are on it, and they drop calls all the time. Same. Joshua Mann.
Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to calm your tits, sir, because we're still waiting for. Verizon. Then you're all right then.
Sir, Joshua Mann, Mia Inez Adams is on her way, and
she's at the store.
I cannot count as a substitute. I'm not even.
I could absolutely whip something, except for the fact that I don't really have any like
ingredients.
No, I have. Well, I mean, I have like seasonings and stuff, but I don't have like
ingredients
protein and stuff. Right, and a lot of what we do have is currently on reserve because my partner's on the keto diet, so a lot of what we have, like I swear to God, these eggs are like $40 a dozen because they're pasteurized eggs. So because they
just to watch their eggs for $4.99.
Yeah, no, these are pasteurized eggs. They're the only eggs you can actually eat raw. So
you got Sprint because you got a military discount. Well, anyway, so
cooking
is going to happen.
We do. We have everything set up. Everything is here. Everything is pretty.
I need to go check my phone to make sure that they didn't get lost. Come on, but
why are they gonna get lost coming back?
I think
they're just pulling up.
Okay.
Excellent. All right.
Good timing. Right. Anyway, so weekend recap. I celebrated my birthday this weekend, but not really celebrated because I like to party, but I didn't.
I'm actually really bummed. That's another reason why I had to work all week. I couldn't do shit with you. I couldn't go to Rainbow Festival. We were supposed to be out of town.
I didn't go to
this
that
weekend.
either, but because I had partied so hard in El Centro. I brought El Centro to me and stayed in bed. Newsflash, I bought a humidifier, and it has helped a lot because of my asthma and being tired and weird medical stuff. And then I got a massage. So,
sounds like a good way to spend a birthday.
I thought that I was fine. People keep going, oh, that's all you did. And I was thinking, well, why didn't you do anything for me?
Well, I mean, if you think about it.
You weren't one of those people.
We were supposed to be out of town this weekend. And why are you knocking?
She's only been here.
This should be set the fuck up and ready to go.
We hope so.
Say hello. There's been some people asking about you.
Hi. We just made groceries.
Oh,
with my husband, you made groceries?
Yes.
We're frozen.
Yes. So
should I change and put on my cooking clothes or wear this?
I don't know. You're gonna fall out into the. Just don't fall out into anything.
I mean, I was frozen. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I was supposed to. We were supposed to go out of town this weekend, and then on Thursday, I was told that I was going to have to work all weekend. So that's what I did all weekend. I fucking worked, and it sucked because I just pulled out whatever I thought you might need.
I'm okay. So what we decided to do, or we're going to make compliments of Eva Angelica Stratton. I'm going to show you guys my very simple, quick, and easy Italian stuffed shells.
Excellent. Sounds great.
And go.
Oh my God. I would have much rather been out of town, today. Or even if not out of town, like if something happened, we couldn't go out of town. Like,
oh, look at Joshua,
I would have at least wanted. Yeah, I would have at least wanted to be able to go down to Rainbow's Fest and like see Coco's Femme Power Hour, because that would have been really cool. But let's see.
I'm so jealous. Scotty got picked to come.
We're
Was he married?
Scotty is
She was a big too.
right.
Whoa.
Scotty is making friends with Agnes right now. Who her name is Agnes.
Or Nessie.
Nessie. I call her
Is
Nessie.
her name
Nessie.
Agnes because she's a girl? Because if she had been a boy, I'd have named her Cracklin.
Oh my God. Oh Christ.
So tell me guys what you guys want me to do. Do you want me to show everybody the ingredients?
Yeah,
Or
let's do it.
Yay. Well, okay, Felicia, are you having a drink?
Yes.
I feel like I need one. So we're gonna make Italian stuffed shells. I'm gonna show you guys the ingredients that I chose to use. You may use whatever type of ingredients you would like. I always have a lot of ingredients. So because they're Italian stuffed shells, one thing I like to use is the jumbo shells by Pasta Maria.
So not small?
We're making jumbo stuffed shells. So I like to use those. And then of course there is, I like to use the Johnsonville hot Italian sausage. It comes this way, or you can buy it in the links. You just remove the casings if you get it in the links. So I like to use that. And I got a lot because I understand that Freddy likes a lot of meat.
I'm not arguing with that. Not arguing with that at all.
Part of the filling after you make the meat is ricotta cheese, minced garlic.
Should we do like the girls on YouTube do? Like the
I'm not on YouTube, baby.
We are on YouTube.
No, we're on your show. Parmesan cheese. I like to use the Lowry's garlic powder.
Oh, not the Lowry's.
As well as oregano, red pepper flakes, parsley. Really, parsley doesn't evoke any flavor, but I like to have it in it because it looks like it's colorful. And then I don't like to make mine in a sauce, but I do like to make them in just regular diced tomatoes. You could also use fresh tomatoes if you like. And then the last but not least, the whole thing is covered with just your normal Parmesan cheese. And instead of since we're not having a salad, but we had to have something to go with them, I'll make some French bread as well, or in this type of the Italian bread. And that's basically it. So they're gonna talk and I'm gonna cook. If you have any questions while we're doing this, ask them and they'll ask me. No, nothing. I'm black and Hispanic. Full fat.
All of this is gluten-free, fat-free, sugar-free, vegan.
All the stuff.
Here, Miss Adams, please have a drink.
Okay, well, I want to get started before we have a drink.
You go ahead and drink.
Okay,
But I got you a good mug.
This stove is some bullshit. It's not no gas stove. It's not even an electric stove. It's some ceramic flat top. Some bullshit. So go and cut that off, sir.
Trust me, that's not mine. Yeah.
Well, I can't have that because that ain't got no straw. What kind of ladies do you, sir?
Fucking straw? Jesus fucking Christ.
Should I have got that when I went to the grocery store too?
Oh.
Yeah. So, to get it started, I'm going to put water in the pot and get ready to make the pasta first.
Here, you have a fucking straw. God damn it.
Can we get a better attitude too?
Demanding, isn't she? Oh my goodness.
Can you turn this eye on from right here?
absolutely.
Just regular water. I'm going to salt the water, but never oil the water when making pasta.
Oh, God,
Why
never,
is that?
Never.
Well, because if you oil the water, it coats around the pasta and it doesn't allow the sauce to stick to it. Also, you never want to rinse your pasta.
Never. That's like, yeah, oh yeah. People, I've seen people do it, and it's just like, oh my God, what are you doing? So they get it out and they rinse it. You want to keep that pasta water on there. That's that starch that helps thicken the sauce.
Especially if you're making something with the sauce. Now, if you're doing lasagna or stuffed shells like we're doing, you could rinse them because you're gonna stuff them.
Joshua, I think you are being full.
The calories in this, a lot.
Joshua, you're being full.
Do you have a larger frying pan?
I believe so.
Or do you have another pot like this?
Oh, the pig loves you.
Actually, I got a pot. I can use this one. So
sure?
I'm gonna cook. I prefer to cook meat when I'm cooking it this way in a pot. It's just easier to handle. You don't have to worry about splashing yourself or anything. That's all. I'll cook it right in there.
That's a good tip.
So then we're gonna get that going. I'm gonna wash my hands.
Praise Jesus.
Although that is the 13th spice.
Hey, you get this. Get out of here.
Oh, she does. What?
He's like, oh, y'all are doing shit?
And because I have long nails and I'm not just cooking at home, I'm thinking about everyone's safety. So I have also bought myself some gloves.
Oh, you could have asked me. I had some.
You didn't have anything else.
Except mine are black, because, you know.
I'm sure. Everybody wants black appendages.
Well, you know. That's what, see, I'm hoping that, you know, fairly
Have
soon.
you told her that you want that?
Yeah, I'm hoping that fairly soon they're going to perfect the penile transplant so that I can actually, you know, then I'm going to see if I can pick the size and the color. And that way, you know, I'm going to be like, bam, check out my big old black dick.
They already have that. You just have to get you a black trans wife.
Yeah, but then it's not.
It's attached, no batteries needed.
I don't need that.
Is this on?
Yes.
Okay. So,
what are we doing?
I'm going to begin to build the meat sauce. I got 2 packages because I like it meaty.
I bet you do.
I do. That's the way I come.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're going to watch it while we're
So very simple. I'm just going to open the meat pack as is. I'm just going to put the meat on and let her start to brown. On the back of the meat pack, some of you may not understand, but there is
Don't cook that.
piece of paper on the back.
The paper, kids. Don't.
I have seen a cooking tutorial where somebody put the paper
Hi,
in there.
Elizabeth. Look at this. Elizabeth is actually watching.
I invited her and put it on her page
So she remembered. Ow.
because she needs reminders.
And here's the second pack.
Ooh. Paper
Now,
removed.
1 pack of this meat will make about, for me, if I'm making them at home for family and friends, I could probably easily make 15 okay ones. But if I'm making them pack like I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to use 2. Also, when this meat is finished cooking and I make the filling, you can freeze the filling and use it at another time. So you don't have to use it all today. But I want to make sure that we had enough because y'all like some hungry bitches.
I'm always hungry.
Mhm.
I'm a growing
All the
boy.
time. Oh, she frozen?
And now I need a spoon.
Yes.
Give a
Sir.
wooden spoon.
Sir.
A wooden spoon.
Yes.
Oh, you have that?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Thank you, Jesus.
That's not Jesus.
Okay. It's Jack spread.
I'm sorry. I mince my own garlic.
Where is it?
And where is that garlic?
Right there. I took the
Did
whole
you want to
one.
mince it?
I bought minced garlic at the Walmart after having gone to Fry's
Why the hell did y'all go to Walmart?
because there was nothing here.
Thank you.
Because we know where everything is at Walmart. We went into the Fry's and we couldn't find stuff. Like they didn't even have the pasta shells. And if I'm going to cook this something that's actually me, I need to utilize the ingredients I'm used to having.
Yes.
Did that help you?
No. Question for Mio. What slot machine does she recommend and why?
It depends on the level that you wish to gamble. First of all, you want
Oh,
to
are
play.
there levels? Wait.
You asking questions I'm trying to answer.
Oh, I didn't know there was levels. I had a question in between your question.
What's your question?
There's levels?
That's the part I just said.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to answer now. If y'all want to know, ask Felicia.
Good job, Felicia. You know, piss off our guests.
I didn't piss her out. She's fine.
Question.
I
Is there anything already in the oven?
Just a tray of bacon grease.
Okay, take that out. I want to go ahead and get this oven going just so that I don't have to wait.
Absolutely. Okay. What do you want the oven set at?
350 is perfect. Question, is that bacon grease organic?
Absolutely. 100% organic, vegan, grass-fed bacon.
Are you making your own bacon? Oh, this bag. Agnes, you better act right.
Joshua Mann says that he put a picture of you on the slot machine for good luck.
How'd that work out for you?
I know what picture he's talking about too. Really? Really, brother? Like that? I think it's going down.
Do you need help opening anything?
No.
Okay.
Is there anything?
This is not what you do, Felicia.
I do sometimes.
That's good.
Well, is there anything?
Somebody's got to cook, or we would both
No,
starve.
I see that on. This casserole dish is ready to go, or does it need to be wiped out? Or
I mean, I can.
And then after, the only other thing I'm going to need after this is a mixing bowl.
Mixing bowl, you got it. Where's that? Mixing bowl is right above your head up there. We in the kitchen.
What side?
The bottom of the bottom. Perfect. If you go ahead and set that mixing bowl in the refrigerator, or wherever, the freezer, wherever I can get it to be cold. Is there room?
Actually, we're gonna dimmer it because there's not a lot of room. So
Okay, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. I just wanted it to go.
I can make it cold. That's easy.
Okay. Well, if you put the ice inside of a bag first, then it won't be wet inside the bowl.
I don't live here. Just gonna mind my business. Oh, Ryan, you should smell how good it smells in here.
So, do we all eat spicy?
Yes.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
gonna be an issue.
Scotty doesn't.
No.
Oh.
He does. Whoops.
What's Scotty?
Sorry, babe. So do we have just the tip?
I do. Give me a minute.
Oh, okay.
You want to put ice in this?
Yeah, I can.
Here. Put ice in that and then put it in the bowl. All right. So I am going to talk about Clip Just the Tip, since I can. And it's actually food related. I've talked about different things about food in the bedroom and stuff before. But I actually have, and I think this is kind of cool, it's a cookbook called Intercourses. And this is, I think this is the first edition. There's been, I think, 1 or 2 more since this came out. But it's actually super fun. What it is it is a cookbook that deals with aphrodisiac type foods. And there's a chapter for each different type of food that could be considered an aphrodisiac in one way or another. There's chocolate, there's asparagus, there's chilies, coffee, basil, grapes, strawberries, honey, artichoke, black beans, oysters, rosemary, edible flowers, pine nuts, avocado, and libation, so drinks and stuff, and figs. But you guys didn't know that like grapes were an aphrodisiac.
I knew that.
Did you know that?
Dionysus was god of the wine, and the grape represented fertility.
Excellent.
But I'm only here to cook.
Yes. It's one of those things. People don't generally think of grapes as being an aphrodisiac until they associate it with things like either Dionysus or
The cluster
like,
represents fertility.
right? Like in Roman orgies, they always have that sort of picture of someone lounging and then with the grapes and the whatever. But it's not something that. Why are you calling me?
In the middle of the show.
Right. Black beans, rosemary. We're actually growing rosemary out front. Hey. Speaking of which, if anybody needs lemongrass, my lemongrass plant is going berserk. So if anybody would like lemongrass, we have a shit ton. Would you like some lemongrass?
You have some?
I have a little bit, yes. I can send you home with a bushel. But when it comes to like, I'm a fan of food. I'm a fan of different foods in the bedroom. I'm a fan of different foods being used as a seduction, as part of a nice evening. And if you get something like Intercourses, this book is full of really quick and easy recipes and things that are great for a romantic evening if you want to kind of get that mood going. It's actually really kind of cool. I would look for it. Look for it. If you're interested in any of the recipes, let me know. I will.
Who wrote that?
Martha Hopkins and Randall Lockridge.
Is that the actual names of Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg?
Probably, yes.
That they real name?
Right. Yeah.
They're pen names. Yeah.
That's their, yeah.
They're nom de plume.
Yes, exactly.
Nom de plume.
Oui, c'est ça.
I like to pretend like I'm frozen.
We have to keep resetting her because she keeps freezing. So, you know, it's one of those things. Like I said, I like food. I am.
Oh my God, do you have butter? I forgot your butter.
Yes.
Is it regular butter?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm one of those people who, like, there are people that live to eat and there are people that eat to live.
And I like to use butter when cooking because butter is used in all restaurants and that's what makes it taste better.
Yeah.
Is butter. So I'm going to enrich the Italian sausage mixture by adding a stick of butter. Well, not a whole stick, probably just a half a stick.
I'm all for it. Whatever. It's cool. While I don't necessarily live to eat, like, I enjoy my food. And to me, if I'm at a restaurant or if I'm wherever, even if I'm at home, and I have a good meal is right up there with a good orgasm, in my opinion. Oh, absolutely.
I like to use a lot of garlic, just so you guys are ready for it.
I'm fine with garlic.
I'm okay with garlic. I'm sorry, Scotty.
Yeah. Oh well. You know, like you ever get one of those like really good meals and you just take a bite and you're just like, oh my fucking God. Like it's good. It's good, you know, that's it. Eddie wants to know where the garlic bread is.
Ooh.
Eddie Omega. We have bread. You just calm your tits.
Do you have aluminum foil? I should have asked.
I do, yes.
Okay. Or do you just have a cookie sheet or however you want to do it?
Whichever. I have a cookie sheet or aluminum foil.
If I use both, I don't have to get your cookie sheet dirty.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh! You mean I got to wash no dishes? Jesus!
Irish butter is better. In fact, we do have Kerrygold, but it's one of those things that I'm not touching because that literally is not mine. So, yeah, like I said, a lot of what we have in the fridge is on reserve, so it's off limits because that shit's expensive, and I can't just use it all willy-nilly. Otherwise, I have to come live with you. So,
with who?
Anybody.
Okay, now I'm about to put the pasta on, and I literally, there's 5 of us. I normally do 3 shells a person, which may not seem like a lot, but you'll understand how full they are. So I'm going to count out my shells, and I always give a little overage just in case some of them don't make it. I like to use the whole shell, so.
You mean you don't just use a half a shell?
No, I want the shell to be full. And delicious.
You mean full or like full and then kind of oozing off the side?
Oozing will be your own personal situation.
I would recommend if you are oozing, you may need to see somebody about that. They have
cooking in bed with your sex and something explodes.
They got pills and creams and things that you. Ryan wants to know what your favorite comfort food is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much my response as well. That would. Yeah.
I like anything hearty. I really like stews or just something that's really like the kind of stuff that makes you fall asleep. It's never happened to me.
No, you never ever fall asleep after eating. Ever.
Last night I was gone.
You do this all the time though. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have me a taco, and then you pass the fuck out at 3 o'clock and wake up at like 5.
I think it's my blood sugar.
Yes, is that what it is?
My blood sugars.
We'll go with that.
I think it's what it is.
We'll go with that. Scotty's got your raisins over there. Scotty's got your raisins over there.
He's talking to Agnes. He's not talking to the floor.
I'm not.
Look, some kind of makeup job. Is this turned all the way up?
Yeah.
Well, boy, bitch.
It's trying.
It was similar when I started.
Yeah.
I forgot to keep. I'll just keep going. I see much more water I got available.
It's cool.
It's smelling a little bit like the meat is almost done.
What is she doing, though, girl?
Can you smell it?
Can you waft it your way? Waft it your way.
No? Somebody said pot roast.
I like that.
Is that your favorite?
Yes.
Okay.
They all are my favorite. Have y'all not seen me? If you haven't had an opportunity, please find me on Facebook, Inez Adams. I cook every day.
If you want
And
to
I
be
live
hungry.
Come say hi to Scotty.
Okay.
Come say hi to Scotty.
So Felicia, I'm going to take this bowl that we've chilled down because I have to chill this mixture so it's easier for me to handle.
Okay.
And I am seriously just going to take the cooked meat. I'm going to put it in this bowl just so it can cool down some and mix in the rest of the ingredients. It's not necessarily to drain any oil off your meat if you don't want to, because in this next process, when we add things to it, it's going to thicken everything up anyway.
And what if you want to take the
oil out?
Mm-hmm.
You could take the oil out, but we added butter in here, so you actually will be removing the butter, which is the flavor. I use a lot of things like pepperoncinos and different types of seasonings that are fat soluble, which means that within a fat they enrich and they transfer to the fat. So while this is nice and hot, I seasoned it earlier with oregano, parsley, red pepper flakes, and garlic. And now I'm going to add in the Parmesan cheese, which will thicken it a little bit. And I'm going to also add in the ricotta. Say it with me. Ricotta. Ah.
Roll that R.
Ricotta.
See, Mom?
Give a spatula.
Spanish for 5 years paid off. I can say rolling R's. That's all. That's all. You're
like
welcome.
a mixer spatula. Mixing spatula, not a flipper spatula. And I don't measure anything. But like I said, if I have leftover filling, the filling can be frozen or used another time. So, and yes, this is the full fat ricotta. Ricotta. Which, if we had time, I would have shown you how to make a delicious dessert out of the ricotta. But we don't have time. You sure?
You sure?
And so I just want to stir this in. Well, I don't have the ingredients either.
Yeah, you have a little bit of an alcoholic beverage here if you would like so.
I want to get this underway. We'll have plenty of time to.
Like it. It's great.
It's great. What? You got me fucked up. You should know I like orange. So you guys can't see this, but I'll let you see it. Ooh, that bowl is hot.
Are you done with this pot?
Yeah. Normally, I would let this cool off and put this whole mixture in the refrigerator to cool down. So I would have made this in advance. The pasta noodles as well, so that they're a little easier to handle.
How long would you put it in the fridge if you were?
Just so that it cools down completely so that you can handle it. By cooling it down, the butter solids will also solidify, so it makes it a lot easier to handle.
That sounds good to me.
And so at this point, do you have a little spoon?
Yes, in there.
You tell me what you think it may need.
Oh my God.
Taste your stuff so you know what you're dealing with.
Always taste. Always, always, always taste.
Oh my God.
You got too spicy?
No, it could be a little more.
I gotta think about Scotty.
What did Ryan say?
That has a good back of your throat kind of hit to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have mozzarella cheese, which is for the top, but I would utilize this Parmesan, and this is the regular Parmesan that you use to sprinkle on top of your pizza or spaghetti or whatever. I will use this as well to help thicken up this filling. How was that?
That's
good?
That's super good.
You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to dice any onions or anything. This is pretty easy. And as you see, I used half of this because I want to make sure that the filling is really good.
Oh.
And as you add the other cheese to it, it'll start to thicken up and become a little, you'll understand as you make it, you'll understand. How y'all feel about a little bit more garlic? Are y'all okay? Or is it good the way it is?
I think it's delicious.
Okay, then we'll leave it there.
I mean,
How do you usually
I never have a problem with more
Do you
garlic,
add- would you
but
add?
I am a spicy person, so I'm gonna leave it here because poor little Scotty's gotta be able to eat as well. This I like to reuse. This is the ricotta I didn't use. I'm gonna try to get it off the spoon with 3 hits. Now I'm gonna use this to stir my noodles because I don't care. And you want to cook the noodles just to the package instructions. So at this point,
do you need a strainer?
nope.
Okay, just making sure.
At this point, the only thing I'm going to do, because I like just the way that it looks, is I'm going to add some more parsley. Parsley doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't evoke a whole lot of flavor, but it just looks pretty.
It's more for an aesthetic than anything. It adds a bit of color, and it does have a little bit of a flavor, but it's not.
It's not pronounced.
No,
That's why I went back with the oregano.
Yeah, oregano definitely has a flavor. Parsley is usually used more as a garnish than anything. Usually when you're, if you're at a restaurant or whatever and you have like little sprigs of shit on your food, that's generally parsley just because it looks pretty.
Tonight we're not making sprigs of shit.
I hope not.
No sprigs of shit.
That's later. You make that yourself.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to try to show us, this is hot, but this is what the filling looks like.
Ooh, look at how.
And it's very tasty, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So then at this point, we're just going to try to cool this off. Is there any place to set this? A freezer, refrigerator? Or if we can't cool it down, we'll just set it out of the way.
You can put it. I can put it in the sink with ice.
No, that's fine. I don't feel that crazy.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Is this the one right here?
Yes, it's a little.
Oh, I could have sworn I turned it off.
Yeah, it's this one's a little janky.
Okay.
It's a little crazy.
Janky.
Yes, janky.
Now, I like to prepare my casserole dish by adding butter
I'm so
to it.
excited about those.
And I'll just take the casserole dish and I'll put it in the oven now just to melt the butter.
I hope everybody's taking notes.
We can post the recipe later on letshaveafefe.com.
And the only thing I'm waiting for now is for the noodles to cook. And then I usually cool everything down for 30 minutes, but we're going to keep moving and I'm going to just start stuffing them and burning my finger for you.
Stuffing.
Yeah, no stuffing.
Ooh.
And you want to cook the noodles to the specifics of the packaging. I can kind of tell by the noodles by what they look like, the coloring. The lighter they get, the more they are done. Also, if you leave pasta in water or in any sort of a liquid, it will continue to expand because it continues to take on water. So if I was to leave these, which is what I normally do, I leave them after they cook in a little cold water in the refrigerator. They'll expand really big and it'll be really tender. They're pretty close now, so we're almost at that point. I'm going to probably, in a few minutes, get the casserole dish out of the oven I just put in the oven because I just want the butter to melt, not anything else. And then the only thing I have left to do is to start making the stuffed shells, placing them in the dish, covering them with cheese, and then baking them off, and then I'll make the bread. And there's a question. My mom, we have a thing. I make my stuffed shells face up. My mom makes hers face down. If you make them face down, then they do kind of cook all into the meat and everything. But I like to make them face up because I think it looks better. Just me.
Face down, ass up.
Is this
What kind of cooking show is
this
that?
not a Christian show?
Oh, no, that's two doors down.
TBN does not want us.
We tried. They said no, and I don't understand
What
why.
did you try? Your good pink and gray? That's just your gray wig. You need to have a pink and gray. That's what they like. Now, what I will ask Freddy to do is these are getting close to where I want them. I do want you to rinse these.
Okay.
And when you do rinse them in as cold of water as possible, and then leave them in the water. That'll help me out a little bit.
Okay.
When it's time to stuff them. Is there any questions? Unjackpot, slot
Is everybody
machine
taking
related?
notes? I hope everybody's taking notes.
Why are there cats crying out in the background?
Because we did decided not to make Chinese. That's racist.
Why are there cats crying?
It was a cat and a pig, by the way.
Oh,
But,
might be the pig that you were hearing, because London was being relatively quiet.
Do you work for PETA?
Who, me?
no, the people.
Or the people that are asking questions.
Being crazy and shit. Yeah.
So I'm gonna. Is there a? Can we move that for a second?
Mhm.
I'm gonna put something there to set this down on. Oh my God.
Why are you breaking shit?
Why don't you shut up?
Are you new?
And do we have oven mitts?
Yeah, here actually.
You know I'm the clumsiest person in the world. I don't even know why that's
Perfect. That's all I need.
Just one down. Good.
Okay.
Oh, look.
Oh.
Oh, that butter.
Oh,
that butter.
And I'm gonna need a good filling spoon. That's like one. That's for the tip segment.
I was asking, what is this?
I'm not entirely sure what that is, to be perfectly
Is
honest.
this what you use this?
It's for me to.
I'm gonna need some bigger tongs. I can't mess with those. I'm trying to find a pointed spoon. Pointed spoon? Yeah, like this? Like that one. Yeah. There are two different shapes of spoons. I like to use one that's more oval shaped because it makes it easier to fill the pasta. You'll understand when you do it. I was gonna answer these. Oh yeah, these are done.
Somebody said it's no longer your son, Philip. What?
What? Philip? Philip who? I have several Philips. Philip Fernandez?
Try again.
Philip Austin? Is that Philip Austin? Oh my God. I think it is.
Let me get out of your playhouse.
Ah, we have butter meltulation.
Yeah, meltulation.
I just like to melt the butter because it just gives it another level of flavor.
You should just show them. Show them that.
It's just melted butter.
It's
Melted
exciting
butter.
for Felicia. She doesn't see things like that very often.
Okay, now we are waiting for our shells and then we're gonna start stuffing. But before I do that, I'm gonna ask Felicia to open this one can. Like I said, I like to make mine in diced tomatoes. You could do them in tomato sauce, fresh tomatoes, or whatever you like. You could do them in
It took me forever to figure out how to use it.
bechamel sauce.
Yeah,
It just really depends which one I do. Can you do that or no?
First of all, I've never seen a can opener.
It's like
this.
here. Let me help you.
It's the top one.
Interesting. I still have an old fashioned.
And I'm gonna need the oregano from you, Mama.
Not that one. That's parsley. Try the other one. There you go.
Sorry.
There you go, ma'am.
I do want to point out that I bought the diced tomatoes, the basil, garlic, and oregano, so you really don't have to add anything to them. But I just take these and I put them right into the casserole dish as they are. And it's just tomatoes. I don't have to add anything else to it, so I'm not going to add anything to it.
Okay.
I'm not going to add any garlic or anything. It's got the butter inside the tomatoes, so I'm going to spread that on a nice, even layer.
Ooh. That's hot. You just got.
At my house, they don't heat up. Yes, they do. I just have asbestos.
I also have fresh Thai basil outside. If you would like to take some of that one as well.
Oh yes, I take home. Yeah. That would be good. Fresh Thai basil. I would love that. I love to make sorbet with limes and Thai basil.
Oh yeah.
And I actually have some limes. Thank you, Naomi St. James, for a big bag of limes we picked up from her house the other day.
Now we've got a shit ton of lemongrass.
So is there a way to show this or no?
Yeah, but you lift it up.
But it'll slide around.
Yeah. Oh. I guess what?
And this pan is hot. So that's the tomatoes in an even layer with the butter on the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to retrieve the noodles and then start stuffing them. So.
Just make that quick.
So weird.
There you go. So then we have our noodles. They chilled them down so that at least the noodles are cold. You want to grab one of the noodles. Let me be a little too chilled. They're stiff.
You told me as cold as I could get it.
Yeah, but I didn't want to stiff enough. My bad. And you want to make sure that they're drained and there's no liquid on the inside of the noodles. They should look like this. Then you're going to take the spoon, and I like to just come straight across and go to the end so it makes that shape. And I want to try to get it as loaded as possible. You put your thumb inside of it.
Ooh, I'm
edge of this over here.
Put your thumb inside of it before you stuff it.
And then if you do this like that, it allows it to all go
in
in equally, pretty evenly. And
Now,
that is how you make a stuffed shell.
And you put
People say,
up.
I like mine face up. My mom likes to do them face down. I think if you do them face down, my mom says that it imparts flavor into the sauce, but I'm not a fan of that. So, and you don't have to make them in any particular rows or anything, but I just like to set them on top of that. So then it's just a matter of trying to fill these up as much as you can.
Now remember, if you guys aren't taking notes, you can actually watch this later once it gets published on YouTube. You'll be able to watch it later. Put it on repeat if you want, whatever it is, and you'll be able to cook along at home besides me.
And this isn't that hard to do. I'm going to knock out as many of these as I can, and then I'm going to have Freddy and Felicia do the last few, just so they can show you that it's not anything super special or difficult to do. And you want to fill these as full as you can get them. There's plenty of meat sauce, so. Oh, can we just rinse these under the warm water for a little stuff?
Run them under cold water, she says. As cold as you can get it.
I said take them out of the cold water and leave them in the pot.
I'm looking for my drink.
Let's go back and review.
I'm gonna rewind and put it on the replay because she said to leave them in the pot.
I did. I said
leave them in the cold water.
I didn't say them in the cold water. I said leave them in a pot with water.
I'm just here.
Y'all look back over that.
I'm just here. I'm just here.
Sabotage.
I gotta see how she works under pressure, you know? It's like.
And just so you guys know, you could also utilize this filling to make lasagna. You could also use it if you wanted to make like a rotini or I never say this word right, mazzatacha. I don't know how to say it. You could use that as well. If you didn't want to use the Italian sausage, you could use the little mini shrimp are also good. You could use chicken if you ground chicken.
She loves under here, like she loves.
And how long does this meal usually take? Like, if you were to do this on your own?
I usually like to do the pre-work, so that means I like to have the noodles boiled ahead of time, and then I make the pot. Like I'll get up in the morning usually and make the filling in the noodles, and then later that evening when I come home, say from work or something, then you simply just fill the noodles and bake them off.
Okay.
But like I said, the leftover meat filling can be frozen and used for other things. Sometimes if I'm in a really generous mood, I will continue to stuff the shells and freeze the shells already stuffed. There's something else I can do.
That looks so good.
And they hopefully will taste good. I hope you guys will like them. So remember when you rinse your noodles, if you don't have a chance to let them cool off naturally in the refrigerator, run them under cold water and then soak them just in some warm water so they stay malleable.
Ryan says that his grandmother always flipped them halfway. So either way, I guess when they're face down and then when they're halfway done cooking, then flip them.
Well, I'm not your grandma. These are Mia's stuffed shells.
Not your grandma's stuffed shells.
I'm sure hers are delicious.
Your grandma? Oh, let's have a Fefe. No.
Oh, I don't want to say nothing about that, but
I don't know his grandma though.
I want to try to do stuff that's easy to cook so you don't have to worry about flipping them over. They're going to cook either way. So
what's egg roll-ups? Eggplant roll-ups, sorry.
For the eggplant roll-ups, I don't normally use a meat filling. It would just be usually the ricotta by itself. Oh, and here's something. If you don't stuff it and it doesn't stuff well, guess what? You can take it right out and start over.
Oh. That's what I do when things don't stuff well. I just take it out and start all over.
We're not talking about from the tip. Just the tip.
But the tip is all I have.
Oh my.
Until I get my
Alright.
transplant.
You're gonna get a transplant?
I told you.
They transplant in tips. Don't get a transplant. Just go to your local grocer. You can be zucchini, cucumber.
Kids, using food with sex is fine. Number one, don't put anything that has sugar in it anywhere sensitive. That's a yeast infection waiting to happen.
But what if I'm
And
already
if
full
you-
of sugar?
Ooh, Jesus. And then if you
Brown
decide to
sugar.
use any sort of a vegetable or anything like that, make sure it's very, very clean. And I would suggest putting a condom over it because you know things like pesticides and whatnot. So, why, you're still fucking yourself with a cucumber, it just has a condom on it.
What kind of fruit salad is she making? Really, Felicia, fruit salad?
Sorry, little girl, I didn't see you. Come here, I'm sorry.
The pig got me.
I didn't see you.
Yes. Oh, that looks yummy.
Yeah, remember how I look, because this might be a little viral for you. Normally, they're not just sitting here so perfectly.
They're not.
Not when I make them. No, I just put them in there. But since I figure we're here on Let's Have a Fefe, I might as well, you know, make them look nice.
Yes, because everything we do on this show looks absolutely perfect all the time.
Yeah, right.
Have you seen this?
It does when I'm on the show.
Yeah.
Buffering.
I just kind of started freezing when she freezes. I'm just,
Right.
and then I want to see if people. It looks like we have a couple of trolls tonight.
Oh,
What does that mean?
We want to welcome them, and if they could share it amongst their friends,
right.
so that we can get more
Please, yeah,
views.
by all means. Trolls up our viewership. So you know what? Keep
I mean-
trolling.
What do they do?
They just be stupid.
Yeah, look at that one.
Also,
How can you
Suzette
tell?
and I think Juan are watching, but they can't figure out how to comment since they're watching it on their Blu-ray.
Oh, they hope I put it in my hot in a hot
hi,
oven.
Suzette and Juan.
No, your finger.
Yeah, they said they hope I put it in a hot oven.
Don't mind the troll.
Well, technically, you could put your hand in a hot oven.
You did earlier.
Right, like that's how do you think we had to get the pan out of the oven? We had to put our hand in the oven. I don't think they cook much.
I'm thinking these trolls might be 13 or 14-year-olds.
Probably. 'Cause
They
obviously-
should be learning how to cook.
They obviously don't understand how an oven works. So, you know, it's all right though, sweetheart. It's okay.
No,
Glitz products, call me. Love to come over and do some things and put some fingers and stuff in you.
Who is Fluffy McFlufferton?
I think that's another troll.
Oh, good.
Unless it's not, you better
Unless
say
it's
say.
not. If you're not a troll, Fluffy, you better let us know. Otherwise, we're just going to assume you're a troll.
We're just ratting on you on purpose.
Whatever.
Y'all are so silly. This is exciting cooking, right?
Oh, wait, we need to take a picture and post it on Facebook because this is about that time that
No,
I
let
would
me
be
go back to-
scrolling
Oh.
and I would be seeing this on my Facebook feed.
Oh, from my house?
Right.
I want to thank Freddy and Felicia for having me do this. This is something I've always wanted to do, but just never put in the effort because I'm lazy. I feel we're all friends here. But y'all know I cook every day, multiple times a day. Just-
Every day.
now you guys get to see, and I have to wear panties.
Oh,
Maybe
you wore
not.
them? I don't know why. It's not like Felicia ever wears panties.
What kind of lies?
Well, I did wear shorts because I didn't want anything
Oh,
hot to touch
I lied.
me.
Suzette's not watching it on the Blu-ray they're watching because they couldn't figure out how to make it work, but they're watching it on their phones.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But at least they're
Shout out
watching.
to Suzette and Juan and Alex and Jessica and
Oh,
whoa.
damn.
So now I'm just gonna fill in some of the holes, just like at home.
Oh my.
And once you start stuffing them, you'll realize that you'll get like in a routine, and it becomes easier and easier. Do you remember how much filling was in here? Look how much filling's in there now. Yeah, it goes a long way. A good serving size typically is about 3 of these. Some people can eat as many as 5. Not me or anything like that, because I'm a girl.
No, I'm sure you stick with 1 and then a salad and you're good, right?
Sometimes I can't even eat the whole one because I can't I have a
You
small.
just have a bite and then you just
I have a
can't do
small
anymore.
esophagus.
Oh, I'm
You have
sorry.
a small esophagus. Anybody believe that? Raise your hand. Yeah, I didn't
What?
think so.
The people at Glitch Products believe it.
I probably already sent you an email.
Okay.
Oh, just strolling. We're good. Hey, man, Fluffy, if you're just, you know, hanging out through live streams, that's awesome. If you're not a troll, we're totally up. And you know what? Even if you are a troll, whatever, we're down. We don't care. It's fine.
Maybe it's Fluffy.
Fluffy.
From
Call me.
Oh, God.
the comedian Fluffy.
He passing me.
No,
That's Ralphie, man.
Oh, Ralphie.
that's Ralphie, man. That's another.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so Scotty is tricky. You think Scotty's like your all-American, you know, Richie Cunningham? Don't get fooled.
Ain't nobody believe that shit. Not
Scotty
anybody that spent any more than 5 minutes with it.
Scotty will cuss your punk ass out
I didn't believe
and not
that
care.
at all.
You see how when they're malleable, how they open up? You can really get your finger in there.
Ooh.
And I'm going to see if I can make 2 more. One of them ripped. I hate when I rip it.
That's really unfortunate.
But I'm a big girl. What can I say?
You gotta put your thumb in it.
She had her.
That's
moment.
your
That's
tip.
Okay. That ain't- Did y'all hear Scotty? Scotty ain't shit. Motherfucker.
Ooh, see, yes, this is like what my timeline looks like.
Uh-huh.
She says, "Oh, I'm about to cook," and then all of a sudden it's like,
This one is
Ooh.
torn. But guess what? Torn pasta wants to be food too.
It's like in the, what the hell
all
is that?
pasta lives matter.
What is that one
No,
stupid
just
movie?
this
Oh,
one.
Sausage Party.
Oh
with
yeah,
with the one hot dog that's all weird and then the
Uh-huh.
weird bun at the end that got squished.
This is not that. This is
Oh.
not that.
Why?
Our food isn't going to have an orgy?
I would hope not. In your
That was-
mouth.
That was
Ooh.
funny.
In your
That's
mouth.
Awful.
I took my daughters to that.
Oh my God, Scotty!
Now, at this point, if you have 1 or 2 that looks like they're not as full as the others, you can take a little filling and try to just put it on the top. Ain't nobody gonna really
Top it
know.
off.
Just top them off, you know. And then we're gonna get a picture of what that looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. So keep in mind that this filling is completely cooked. It's completely cooked. And this is how much filling is left. You guys want to see. So this can be,
What would you do with that?
you can actually serve it over spaghetti. If you want to cook some rotini or any sort of a pasta that has a hole in it, you can cook the pasta and then just put this on top of it. You could make lasagna with it. There's enough to freeze.
Is the oven still on?
Yeah, so I put the oven.
Oh,
Yeah, that's got to go in there and the bread's right there.
And so did we all get a picture of that?
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm gonna post it on Facebook.
In all honesty, I wish I had 3 more shells to fill in, but I don't know how to
Mia, do
count.
you want to take any of that home?
I can. Doesn't matter. Maybe you'll take it home. So now we have, I like to use just regular shredded mozzarella cheese, and I like to be general or very liberal with it at first to make sure I have everything covered. And I'm going to save some of the cheese because we have garlic bread to make, and with half of the garlic bread, I make half cheese and half not. So at this point, everything is cooked. It just needs to go in the oven to finish. So I'm going to ask for the parsley flakes. And this is all at this point just decorative, really.
I love color.
Yeah. You eat with your eyes first. And then something I like to do just to give people a fair warning that this is spicy, I'll also put some pepper flakes on top. Just so you know for sure. You're not like, these look like they're going to be bomb. And then you'll be like, well, bitch. So if you see the flakes on top, you know the flakes are going to be in there as well.
I'm going to split what's left of this with you. I'm
Doesn't
going to
matter.
take half of this home. I'll eat the rest of it tomorrow.
I got some pasta already ready in the refrigerator.
I'll see.
That's the kind of girl I am. So Felicia, you want to get another photo? Or do you want to hold this up where they can see it? Or how do we want to do this?
Here, I'll get one.
Okay.
Oh, I'll take a picture of it.
And this is what it looks like in the pan with the cheese and everything on top. So now the only thing we need to do, keep in mind, everything is cooked. So you just need to cook this until the cheese is done. My mom likes to leave hers in for an hour. I don't like to leave them in that long. I just like to make sure that the cheese melts. But it's ideal to cook them until the cheese is all brown and bubbly and crunchy.
You want to
That
throw
you
it in
can
over the broiler?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't make it out to my show on Saturday. This is where I ended up getting killed at.
What? Wait,
I
I'm
have
in
a
that
pig. I
show
can
too.
dispose of the body.
Mister, Mister. And then this just goes into a 350-degree oven until it's done. And now we're going to switch over to bread. How about that? So we're going to move that out of the way. We're going to move this out of the way.
Take a minute and have a drink now.
I want to get the bread made first, and then I'll be able to have as many drinks as you would like me to have. So, again, we're not using homemade bread. We're using just a simple French bread or an Italian bread or any kind of fresh bread that you have at a bakery near you. And this is pretty easy to do. Do we have any more? Oh, you don't have a microwave either, huh?
I do not have a microwave.
I
haven't used a microwave in like 10 years, so.
Wow.
Do you have a serrated knife?
I do.
Okay. So you're gonna take a serrated knife and you're just gonna take your loaf. I like to stand it up.
Just an FYI, that's very, very sharp, like sharper than most knives. So.
Okay.
Just a heads up.
I have Hinkles and Japanese knives at the house.
Okay. I'm just letting you know these are cut. So.
Ah!
Oh, don't do that. Goddamn, you scared the shit out of me.
Are you caring about my safety?
Yeah, no,
You
I
were-
didn't want to have to rush you to the hospital with your.
Whoa.
No, we're not rushing her anywhere.
Did you say you want to eat first?
I'm not rushing her anywhere. She's
What I tell y'all?
cooking.
Scotty ain't shit.
Put a fucking Band-Aid on that shit till we're done cooking.
Oh my God, both of them. I guess I would have to be the one.
I'm okay.
I
I'll put a
don't-
Band-Aid on it.
You don't want to ride with him. Her.
It's fine. Just
Whatever.
Whatever.
call an Uber.
These motherfuckers just told me that if I injure myself in their kitchen, I must Uber myself to the hospital.
No,
I want y'all to know that before I go, I'm throwing all this shit on the floor. Do we have some more butter?
We do.
And I guess a saucepan to melt that butter down in real fast.
Here.
That's too big. It's a little soft. Small. Normally, I would take this butter and I would pop it in the microwave to soften it because we're gonna make a spread for the bread. But since we don't have that, you know what? Is that your tea kettle?
No, it's an Italian espresso maker.
Okay. Do you have a tea kettle or not?
Not really.
Okay.
Sort of, but not really.
Oh.
So you don't want someone to hand you a pan with water in it when you're trying to melt butter.
You can if you put it on the thing, and it'll dry in about 30 seconds.
We've been here for a minute.
So I don't want to use up all his butter, so we'll just use a half a stick.
Oh my God.
Hi, piggy girl.
So are you guys okay with, you want regular bread or spicy bread or what?
Hi, Susan.
I'm good with whatever.
And Ryan, Scotty is not a Christian man.
Let me have the garlic. And I don't measure. Let me have all the seasoning tabs.
What you doing, piggy girl?
What's this one?
You need
Okay. So I got garlic.
You need good. Look at you being sociable. I'm so proud of you.
Again, Freddy's talking to the pig, not us.
The people. Like I said, normally I would do this in the
Should we show
microwave. It's
people
a
what
little
you're making?
easier. It's just a little, I need the spatula back.
Oh, I haven't watched it. It's still good. You want me to watch it?
Yeah. And
So what? This is about a high heat.
I just have it on just to get it melted quickly. Because like I
Okay.
said, normally I would do this in the microwave, but we're here in 1947, so we don't have them.
I'm sorry. I prefer to cook my food properly instead of throwing it.
You said I don't cook? You said I don't cook?
I don't
When
know.
we put it in that machine,
Let me just stand back.
I'm a lie. You smell that already?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to go crazy with the heat on it. The other reason why I use a half a stick of butter to begin with is because if I over melt it, I can always stir in the other stick and the whole thing's not going to be liquidy.
Oh, okay.
Because like I said, normally I would just soften it in the microwave. I wouldn't melt it per se. So now that this is starting to simmer, I'm going to turn the heat off and just continue to let this butter melt.
I don't know how to use that.
It's off.
Is this on? What is element on? What does that mean?
That
This
means
is so.
it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it's on.
Okay. Or is it just the oven?
Oh, I don't know.
It says hot surface.
Which means, yeah. No, that's pretty much.
So now this is melted, and I'm just going to add in the remaining part of the butter. And it's been removed from the heat. Yes, paper towel. And it's been removed from the heat, so I'm not concerned about any of that kind of stuff. Like I said, normally I do this in the microwave so that it's not so thin because I don't want to get the bread gummy. Usually I have it as more melted, but I guess it's going to bake in anyway, so I use the same thing. Also, I could have taken this butter and if you want to melt butter fast and you have a microwave, you can put a hot glass of water in the microwave, melt it, or put it on for 2 minutes. Take the glass, put the water out into the sink, and put the butter into the glass, and the heat, residual heat from the glass will melt the butter safely.
Oh.
You can do the same thing without a microwave if you have a tea kettle. You just boil water, put it in a hot glass, then once the glass is heated, then turn and put it into, dump the water out and add the butter to that. So I'm going to assume that we can go ahead and just pour this along the bread.
I love, Eddie Omega says, I love how you name your looks after food.
Because I'm fat.
Would you ever do a look named after donuts?
Yeah, that's all my looks are named after donuts. Today is Purple Passion. It's raspberry and strawberry supreme.
Donut names.
Yeah. Go in there and ask for one. They got it. Like I said, normally I would do this in a microwave, but this will work as well.
That looks so simple. You can't even see, they can't even see what you're doing.
And then, if, you know, in the future, if possible, we'll talk about making brown butter.
Brown butter is amazing.
Brown butter, you just take butter and you simmer it down until the fat starts to separate from it and it becomes brown. And that has an amazing amount of flavor. Now I'm just going to take whatever leftover garlic was in there and put it on.
There's a fine line between brown butter and like scorched
butter, yeah.
And it's like, it's a matter of seconds.
And
like
you can't make brown butter out of parquet. Must be butter.
Yeah, no. In
What
fact,
the hell is parquet?
don't.
Vegetable
I
vegetable
fear if you're
oil.
cooking, I would highly recommend don't use margarine at all anyway.
I prefer margarine for baking.
For most things, people try to use it because it's healthier. It's actually not.
It's oil.
But if margarine is so full of chemicals and things like that. Margarine before it's actually put in the tubs is gray.
Ew,
That's
what?
dyed in order to come across as yellow because nobody's gonna eat something that's gray.
Y'all see me?
So-
I eat it all. Me.
I'm just throwing that out.
And
there.
then I'm gonna double layer the cheese. So I'm gonna go back to my Parmesan
We're
cheese.
never buying margarine.
Remember, I used half of this to make the filling, so I still have a good half in here. I'm gonna use some on the bread now, and then the other half will be to serve with your shells when they're done. So just very liberally put you some cheese on there. You want to make sure that you cover it very, very, very well. And I tried to cut this bread in half as best I could, but it is what they say, what it is.
It's close enough.
So whenever you think you have enough cheese, keep
Add
going.
more.
And now, I'm not going to go crazy with the rest of this cheese that I have. But I want to put just enough on there to give it a little decoration, if you will. And I'm just going to take this cheese and I'm just going to go right down the center with it. And of course, that's going to get toasty and gorgeous. Is there aluminum foil or just a sheet
I
pan?
couldn't find aluminum foil.
Okay, I'll use a sheet pan. Sometimes I like to wrap it in foil, but without covering it, and so I can just stick it on the rack. But today, I'll just put it on a toaster sheet.
I may have.
And again, we eat with our eyes. So just for a little look-see look.
That's cute. Okay. Do you put the pepper on this too?
Of course, so that you know that it's what? Spicy.
Sorry, babe.
Now, something else that would be good to serve with this would be just a simple greens salad, if you wanted to do that. If you did not want to have a salad, you could, of course, eat these alone by themselves. Sometimes I like to also make Swiss chard or something like that, which is basically greens that are cooked down. There's so many things you can do with this. You can have it just the shells by themselves, or you can have them, as I said, with some Swiss chard, or you can have them with a fresh salad, just kind of whatever you want to do. There's no rules in cooking, because if you ever make a mistake, remember, you just have to eat it.
Ooh.
No losers.
I found it.
Okay. So then, whoa, we got the big end.
You know what's doing it.
I don't want to say anything about Freddy and his foil, but methinks he's trying to.
Here's a little tip.
I guess if you're going to have some, have the biggest thumb you can have.
I ain't gonna lie, I have to compensate for something.
I'm not ashamed. At my house, I got a little foil, but it worked. Sometimes that argument doesn't work with everything.
It's not. Sometimes it's not the size.
Go
I
ahead
said
and say it.
sometimes.
Go ahead and say it.
I said sometimes. I gotta work with what I got, all right?
And you obviously have big foil. Big foil. Look how I use both hands. Look at that.
Damn straight.
Like that?
Ooh, look at your foil.
You're welcome.
I don't know if I can handle this.
Okay, you're not used to the big foil. I see who you live with.
So
I'm gonna take the foil and set it down, and then I'm gonna move the bread over. The bread over to the foil.
Ooh.
So now that they are side by side, I am just going to fold the foil up on the side, but allowing the top to still be visible. Just kind of stiffen it up a little bit.
That's what she said.
Wow.
That's
She
what
did.
got
The big foil.
I like my foil stiff.
And you can do this as long as you have a good aluminum foil. You don't have to worry about a pan. You can actually set this right on the toaster. If you want to grill this outdoors, you can set this right on the grill because you have a nice, sturdy.
Oh God, doing like garlic bread and stuff on the grill is fantastic.
Yeah, wouldn't do it with the cheese so much, but yeah.
Right, because what you can do on the grill is, depending, especially if you make sure your grill is relatively clean. But you can actually, if you don't have the cheese and stuff on it, if you have like either butter or olive oil or whatever, you can actually put it face down on the grill.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, we're gonna wait for that to get bubbly and brown. So we're gonna slide this in right next to it, and by the time it takes the bread to cook 15 minutes or so, everything should be ready to go.
Yummy.
Now I'm gonna see a man about a drink.
Oh, great.
Now, at this point, if I was so inclined, now would be when I was just making a salad. Or if you were going to do the Swiss chard, cleaning that and getting it to cook down. Also, something that might be nice with this, I've never done it before, but it could be good, would be to also roast off some vegetables.
Mm.
That would be good as a nice side.
Or grilled on the.
Or
Grill.
grill.
If you're on
a flat top with a grill, yeah. Since we're already using the oven, I didn't want to turn on another implement.
Mm.
So with that being said, you could roast some carrots or tricolor cauliflower, broccoli, radishes, anything, and serve those on the side with this. Be very healthy. A nice big glass of vino.
What's that?
Speaking of vino, I'm going to see Dionysus about his grapes. I'm a little nervous.
Mia, Eddie Omega wants, what is everybody's favorite dish to bring to a holiday potluck?
Nothing. Foil.
Take the leftovers?
I'm a little nervous because look at they gave me the drink out of.
You're welcome.
Do they mean leave it too?
Yes.
See if it.
Let's see, for potlucks and things like
Oh,
that.
Is this soda?
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like soda, doesn't it?
There's not no alcohol, is there?
Oh, it's got alcohol.
No, this is like a soda.
Okay.
This is Henry's soda, in fact.
Damn, look at my shape. I didn't know my shape was. I bought something else to wear. I promise y'all I did.
You want to go change?
No, I'm in celebrating the holidays early. This is how you should make your snowman.
What did I bring last Thanksgiving? We love you, Mia. Last Thanksgiving, to my family, we brought.
You brought a lot of pies.
I did. Oh my god! I made the most amazing.
And didn't share at all.
I made 2 pies, and I think we did potatoes last year.
Did you make pies in this kitchen?
No, it was another kitchen.
I was gonna say out of what?
My old house had a gas stove. I know.
That's the best.
Oh my god! This has double thumbs in it.
Put that away. This is soda. Because I don't drink. We all know that. If you've ever been to my shows, you see that I finish each and every show sober.
Speaking of shows, don't you have a show this Saturday and every Saturday?
Yeah, but there's nobody good on this Saturday, so I wouldn't even bother talking about it.
We thought we would start early for the holidays with charity. This Saturday at Club Vault, you can catch myself. My fellow vixen, Naomi St. James, will not be there, unfortunately. She'll be slaying on another stage. But we have the very first Miss Supernova USofA newcomer, Felicia K. Minor. Ask her what the K stands for.
Shut up.
We also have joining with us that night, we have Miss Arizona USofA at large, Sonia J. Savage. And I believe he's Mr. Sin City USofA at large, Jeremiah Daniels. Showtime's 10:30, Club Vault, 31st Street in McDowell, no cover. And yes,
thank you.
10:30 showtime, always start on time.
Yes.
Sure.
And how long have you had the show at Vault?
August 5th, I was being frozen again.
Oh.
We started August 5th, so we're celebrating almost 2 months.
Yeah.
Well, 3 months.
3.
I don't know how to count. Also, can I plug my contest?
Yeah, go.
February 25th, 2018 at The Rock in Phoenix, Arizona. We will be having the 8th annual Miss Supernova USofA Newcomer Contest. Felicia was my very first queen, and then I found better competitors. No, I'm joking.
No, she right.
She's my butterfly, and I always
is
love
so
her.
right.
If you need a judge, I can
It's
make myself available.
It's
But
possibly
you're
I may
judging
need
all the
one.
time.
It's the 8th
Yes,
annual.
but I meant judging in an official capacity.
I've been fortunate enough to be named Promoter of the Year a few times. Within
How
the
many
system.
times?
3 or 4 times a day. We're not counting or anything.
Who was counting?
Mary Jane and Kira Downs didn't give me shit. Anyway,
Whoa!
I'm just serious.
Are you taking this home with you?
No, because we're gonna make a dessert with that pasta.
Oh, all right then.
Mm.
But that is February 25th, 2018 at The Rock in Phoenix, Arizona. Registration is from noon until 1. Interview will follow. Contest starts at 6 p.m. And our presentation this year is in the honoring the tradition of, I always say this wrong, Dia de Muerto, which is Dia de Muerto, which is the Day of the Dead. So I understand the Day of the Dead is November 1st. That's why I say it's honoring the tradition thereof. So tickets will be $10. That's all inclusive. There's no special seating. Seats are first come, first serve. No reserve. So get your tickets the day at the door. No reserve seating at all. If you want a good seat, get there early. There may be warm hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, yay.
I said maybe.
Scotty's like, I'll suffer through a fucking pageant for food.
Yes.
So I don't know how to do. Are there questions? I don't know how to read anything.
It's understand. Oh,
Philip wants to know how do you get a table? I think he means
said
the
show up.
here, a table here at this house,
They got a table here.
a table at the pageant, or a table for the show on Saturday. There's a lot of tables available.
There are many, many tables. You have to be a little more specific as to which table you would like at which event.
I thought that my neck looked like it was sweaty, but I guess it's just the sheen of my natural cocoa
Glistening.
brown skin. No, it's just the dewiness of my skin, honey. It's like that everywhere, honey. Look at that. My boobs look big on camera. They're not this big. They're not little. They're not like that big foil. They're little.
The size of my head.
They are.
Totally the size of my head.
Wait.
You got a big head.
I do.
So I can do the show without them. Let's have a Fefe.
Oh, God.
Would your
I'm
boobs
sorry.
talk?
They don't have to.
They just.
So what are the questions? My pasta bake that I'm doing right now is eggplant, mushrooms, zucchini, onions, and pasta and gravy. Ryan, that
missing
sounds disgusting.
You're missing all the meat. You
That's
need
right
meat
here.
in that, Ryan. Where's the meat?
My breasts are not falling out of the sides. That's the way this top is designed. You can contact clubvoltaz.com for reservations.
And do
I
it
can't believe
at
I'm
least
remembering this.
24 hours before.
You can call them. You can contact them on clubvoltaz.com right now and make your reservations for any day of the year.
Don't try to do it an hour before the show like somebody did.
No.
What
We
did
had
you
to
do
reserve a table an hour before the show.
He says eggplant, mushrooms, zucchini, onions with pasta and gravy. How did you prepare your eggplant? Did you deep fry it first? Because eggplant contains a lot of moisture. So how did you prepare your eggplant for that? Very interested in knowing.
You're not. I would make you eggplant. I think you would like.
Is it the
I
texture or
I
I
don't.
don't have every flavor.
It does, but so it depends on what it's cooked with. I'm not a super fan of the texture. That's usually what part of the problem is.
is.
I am
a
too.
huge texture
Me
person.
too.
Which is where there's some things that I eat that have a slightly odd texture, but it has to be a very specific texture. If it's a weird texture, if that makes sense. Like it's a,
Some things that are good with eggplant that way. If you slice them really thin, and I slice them really thin, then I would grill them, so it releases all the water, and then I'll make the zucchini roll-ups, which I could probably stuff with that mixture that we just had today.
I would say like if they were thinly sliced and maybe stuffed with something like that.
The other thing that I do is I
probably
cube
handle.
them, and I take the cubes and I deep fry the cubes so they're completely sealed, and then I add those to like a rigatoni with the pasta sauce, and the eggplant stays nice and firm and very al dente. It almost feels like a mushroom fill in your mouth.
I could probably handle that. It's when it gets mushy, like,
I don't.
and
like
that's the
mushy
problem.
vegetables
So
at
many times when
all.
people make eggplant, it ends up this mushy.
And that's because they don't know how to prepare
Not
it.
a fan.
That's because they don't know how to prepare it.
Like, I hate
Eggplant
mushy
contains a lot of moisture,
Right, and
so
then
you have to be very
have
careful
to
how you
get that
handle it.
moisture out of there. Otherwise, it's like,
Yeah.
you're just eating goo, and it's not. I'm just,
That's like the baba ganoush and whatnot.
right.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
I'm gonna check. These shells are starting to give me a little fever. How much time do we have, by the way?
Let's see. We've been over for about 20 minutes, so.
Oh, well, y'all want to see how this ends? Join us next week.
We would have ate it.
Oh, well, we didn't start exactly 8 o'clock either.
Well, we did, but you didn't.
What kind of lie? Well, perhaps I'll pull this out of the oven early, just so y'all can see them. Can I get another mix? This is heavy now.
Yes.
I'm putting this back in, but I just want you guys to see. They're actually edible at this point, but I like them to go a little bit longer, personally.
It looks delicious.
My nails are not gonna allow.
Do you need some help?
Oh shit, that looks good.
We can eat these now, which is what we're probably gonna do. I usually like them to be a little bit more crisp on top. So can we go 10 more minutes?
Yeah, go for it.
We'll do it in the post show you guys what these are tasting like.
There you go. We'll do the extra. We'll record it and do a Fefe extra.
Okay. I want this sip.
So if you want to see what these actually taste like, you should, support us on Patreon.
Oh, the bread though.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna let these go for just a little bit more.
So since we're gonna let those go, and we're over by 20 minutes. Probably gonna have to.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut the bread, and then we're gonna once I cut the bread, we'll take these out. Like I said, everything that's in the stuffed shells is already cooked. It's just a matter of me wanting the cheese to be really
right. I'm a fan of getting the cheese like kind of crispy and good, like a good bake on it, nice and brown.
May I have that serrated knife once again, sir?
I will. I have a kitchen torch, so sometimes I will take.
And keep in mind when I take the bread, I like to serve large pieces of bread, and I like to cook them on or cut them on a diagonal. So. Believe it or not, a whole loaf of bread to me will only make about 6 slices of bread. For me. That's 1 slice of bread. Two slices of bread. So this whole thing will make about 3 slices of bread the way that I do it.
Seems about right.
And I could have left the bread in just a little bit longer, but why lie? They're hungry. Felicia, you want to get a picture of that? Keep in mind, you could cut this bread a lot smaller, but why lie? You're going to eat that much anyway.
This depends on how many people you're trying to feed, you know.
Shall we go ahead and take those out and serve them?
We can absolutely do that if you're ready to do that.
We're going to go ahead and take this out of the oven.
You need some help? You got that?
And these are our stuffed shells with all the delicious tomatoes cooked around them. Now the only thing left to do is, can y'all smell that? Can y'all smell that? So now I'm going to ask for a couple of plates and a spoon, and I'm going to serve them up. And we're going to enjoy these. I want to thank these two guys for having me here on Let's Have a Fefe, Cooking with Mia segment. If you guys enjoyed this, let them know, and hopefully we can be back. If you have any suggestions of things you'd like me to cook or things you're curious about, please let them know. Don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully I cook something else again soon. I hope you guys like this segment. Thank you guys for having me.
This looks delicious.
This has been the best part because we get to eat after.
We need to have more shows like this.
Thank you, Mia, for joining us. This was so much fun, and I'm glad that this is something that you wanted to do for a while. And I'm stoked that we were able to do this. So hopefully next time we'll make sure that if it's not so crazy in general, we'll be able to get things situated, and it'll be a little bit smoother sailing in terms of getting everything.
Somebody's putting in requests already.
Yeah, well, just let them know what you want to see me make. I can do everything. Okay, hey, I can show you how to make biscuits, but I don't fry chicken for everybody.
Ooh.
My fried chicken is special, and I don't fry chicken for everybody. We have to work up to that within our relationship.
Awesome! Look, we have another troll. I love the troll.
What'd they say?
Well, let's see. One of them is
this one's
big, nasty fingernails.
Is that what he said?
Probably wipes his ass with that same hand.
Oh.
Looks like Michelle Obama in drag.
Which one?
That doesn't really make sense. Cause okay, whatever. And what the fuck is wrong with that white dude?
Oh, he got it. He got everybody.
We want to thank you for your support.
Wow.
Do you have a spoon?
Make sure you click like.
Wow.
Do you have a serving spoon?
I do. And thank you so much, trolls, for upping our viewers.
So I'm gonna fix Scotty a plate first. Scotty, which piece of bread would you like? Just as a pretty piece of bread?
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Thank you.
And how many would you like?
2.
Hold on.
Please.
Real quick. I need to say who's.
Hang on, let me take a. Oh, I'll wait till you plate it, and I'm gonna take a picture.
OMG, it looks good.
That looks amazing.
You sure you can't work on 3?
No, 2.
It's too bad you guys aren't actually here to see this. That's
Oh my god.
Thank
Look
you,
at that.
thank you.
Look at the smell.
Felicia, how many do you want?
Let me have that.
I'll take a 4.
Oh, can you handle 4?
Yes.
And of course, the longer you would cook it, the longer you cook it, the more the tomatoes and stuff would thicken up and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, look at that cheese.
So, do you guys always have trolls?
No, they always pop on every once in a while. They got nothing better to do, but it's all right because it ups our viewership, so we're cool with that.
Right now we're at like 13.
13 what? I mean, you normally have.
It
varies.
And then,
2? That's only when you're watching.
Right.
Oh.
Alright,
next week we're going to be talking about winter skincare tips. Oh, thank you.
How many would you like, sir?
I'm gonna start with 2.
And we're going to have
Easy on
Tamara
the
Hamilton on next week.
That's the good thing about this. It's not really saucy.
Right. So, do you
No,
need a
we
fork?
use our hands.
Do you need a? Would you like a fork, Felicia?
Yeah.
So next week we've got winter skincare tips, and we've got a whole bunch of other stuff. The following week, I'm actually going to be in. Thank you. I'm
It's
actually
not too spicy, is it?
in Austin. So Sophia Sinclair will be co-hosting with Felicia.
Who?
'Cause we all know that Felicia can't do it by herself.
Wow.
No, trust me.
We tried.
It's
Oh, that's a true statement?
it's been attempted. It's been attempted.
Twice.
Right.
Maybe 3 times.
Not
3
cute.
times, and then I
So-
have to come in and help.
Right. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Much thanks to Wigs of a Kind for Felicia's hair this evening. You want to show the people? Yeah.
I messed it up a little bit. My hairspray.
And again, thank you to Gabe King Photography for making us look good this season. We always love what he does with us.
Filter us while we're on.
Right? That would be awesome if we could work on that.
I'm good.
Oh, Lord.
And with that being said, we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to share the video, like, subscribe, etc., etc., etc. And
even the trolls should subscribe so they can find
right,
us.
come troll us more.
And that's what you guys have watched. Let's have a Fefe. It's time to eat, so let's have some Mimi.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.